Hello everyone, it's Professor Zero and I'm back with another Thursday stream review, which has been reviewed yesterday. So we have like a lots of new stuff coming in for yesterday night, and I think this is rather exciting for a lot of people, especially like Bastion players. So rejoice, right? So we have like new cards coming in, and not to mention we have like the reprints of the SEC cards, which is collab with the Young Animals, which is the manga artist, collab with the manga artist. Same like last time, with the I don't remember, I don't remember the names, but yeah, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get straight into the news. But before that, if you do like my content, please hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more content in the near future. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. We have the first card. We have Moonlit Angel. So it's actually Boba Mine, so really good. So I like the art as well. So that nice art over here with the feet and whatnot. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I'm not into that, but yeah, okay, sure. Bomber Mine is technically a very good reprint, very staple for a lot of run gates. Yeah, like run gate decks. So yeah, very good, very good. Highly needed, highly sought after. So but how much this card is going to be, that is yet to be known. So it's gonna be expensive, because since it's an SEC card, but for them to reprint this card is actually quite nice already. So that's about it. So kind of nice. We have Inferno Lover, Catalyst. So this card is actually Clean Sweep Dragon. So this I like the art. It's like she's sick. Not gonna lie. Okay. Catalyst is Clean Sweep Dragon. So Clean Sweep I will say that it's not a very highly, it is a highly sought after card, and it's like playable in like a lot of decks. Like Unica, for example, Drudgy World no space. I didn't even play Clean Sweep in Drudgy World. Greedon, you could say, Greedon Masters especially. What other decks that actually you can play? I mean, like a lot of decks you can actually play with this. Probably Amano Grigio, but I would say probably not. But yeah, I would say Clean Sweep is pretty good. Pretty nice reprint. Who can tag him in near future? Tag her in the near future. So we'll see who can have the space for it. And then we have the Dragon Empire one, which is Drag Raider Kasvan. This card is actually Meteor Flare Dragon. So I'm kind of surprised, and I'm kind of like puzzled as well. I'm surprised and puzzled at the same time, because Meteor Flare Dragon is not actually a very highly sought after card, because the only time that I see people play Meteor Flare Dragon is in decks like Andiva, and that's about it. And there's no other decks, Dragon Empire decks I've seen so far that actually play this card. Not even in Tamayura, not even in Shoujodoji, not even in Megalonosuchi, not even in Nirvana, right? So I'm not sure why they want to reprint this card in per se, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's the justification, but I could be wrong. You can always correct me in the comments, like what other decks can play Meteor Flare, and besides like Godiva, right? So I would say like it's probably a meh reprint, but I feel like you could have reprinted something else. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain. Beggars can't be choosers. So you just take away what it is, but Meteor Flare is there. So yeah. So we have the next card for Cactus Entry, Magic of Holy Tomes. So Kukurit. Yeah, Kukurit. This card is actually Wayward Therapy Angel. So for Wayward Therapy Angel to be kind of like reprinted as SEC version is kind of good in like a lot of ways, right? So first of all, I would say that you can play this card. I've seen this card played a lot in Youth Book, so that is also quite nice. Quite staple as well. Tegria is also good for Wayward Therapy is also good for Tegria. But the cost, Azel probably not. Azel they really didn't discard much. Minerva, I would say yes. Minerva, you can discard Wayward Therapy for the discard cost, but you have to discard a Genesis. No, unless you say that you want to discard her for the right line, but I would say probably not. I think the top two decks for me so far that actually play this card is actually Youth Book and Tegria, and other than that, I can't think of any other character decks on top of my mind that actually play this card. But it's still a 10k booster, so I would say that it's kind of nice lah. I would say. Yeah, okay, that's kind of good. Now this is really funny. Okay, now we have Price Flower Million Lucilia. So this card is actually regarded as Roaming Prison Dragon, right? So Roaming Prison Dragon, yeah, the art is also really good, very nice. Roaming Prison Dragon, okay, the only decks that is obviously you can play this into is like Zorga, right? Staple, confirm 4th. Granfia is debatable, Lianon is debatable, Claudine is debatable, the one from the PR flower girl. I think it's good, and I think it's good because like even if you don't play this in Zorga, like Granfia, you could find some ways to probably like make your Roaming Prison Dragon like power up and get the crit. I mean, you call it, you're gonna have to confirm get the crit, but the way how you're gonna power it up later is going to be like a different story. So I would say that Roaming Prison Dragon is technically like a highly sought after card. Not gonna lie, it's a highly sought after card after Inlet Pulse. I like, part of me wish that they could have reprinted Inlet Pulse Dragon, but whatever. I would say like Roaming Prison Dragon, yeah, sure, can be reprinted. I mean, I have no qualms about it. So yeah, for those people who's like looking for like Roaming Prison Dragons to build, this is your chance. Although it's gonna be SEC and it's gonna be expensive, mind you. So yeah, so Zorka Maskus is good. It's meta. It's been topping here and there, so why not, right? So just get it. Roaming Prison Dragon. So yeah. So that's about it. So that's everything for the SEC reviews. Now for the Bastion support and the new Bastion coming in, we have the two support cards and one new Bastion. So we have the first one, Knight of Nobility Azuris. So it is a grade 2. It is a common card. So high chances that you're not gonna play this card, right? But if I were to explain the skill, you probably might want to reconsider your choices. The skill, continuous in the hand. When you reveal grade 3 cards from your hand for the cost of your Vanguard ability, you may reveal this card as grade 3, right? Second skill, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if you have a Bastion Vanguard, grade 3 Vanguard with Bastion, you can counter +1, choose from the opponent's Vanguard in the same column as this unit and put it at the bottom of your opponent's deck. So I don't understand. Okay, first things first, I don't understand why Captor is like doing this bot deck stuff. This is supposed to be Gear Chronicle stuff. I don't understand what they want to do this skills for every Captor deck. I don't understand, right? So that's first part. But I will argue that if you're going to play the Bastion right line, such as like Rook and Fort, if I'm not mistaken, then it requires you to reveal like grade 3 cards from your hand. So in a sense that if this card is in your hand, you may reveal it as a grade 3. So in order for you to proc a skill, which is good in a sense. But for the purposes of Bastion, you are more likely to play grade 3s than grade 2s. So this card, is it a pass, or is this going to be a pass or a keep for me? I would call it a pass. Pretty obvious, okay? Pretty obvious. Alright, second card, Lando H Dragon. This is good. So this is a Cosmo Dragon. Continuous hand. When you reveal grade 3 cards from the hand for the cost of ability, you may count this card as 2 cards. So of course, if you're playing the Bastion red line as well, you can, essentially, you can just reveal this card and another grade 3 card for you to proc the skill for the top deck, call, or for the draw power, right? So this is kind of good. Really good. And it's a double rare. It's a grade 3 and it's a double rare. I would say this is why this card is good. It's actually like double rarity that is really deserving of its rarity, right? A skill deserving of its rarity. Second skill, continuous on the Rearguard Circle and the Guardian Circle. If you have a Vanguard with Bastion in its card name, this unit gets 10k power and 10k shield, and also applies during your opponent's turn as well. So constant 23k power and constant 10k shield. Granted, he doesn't have intercept. I mean, obvious, right? It's a grade 3. But you can, when it comes to deck building, there's this card that actually like you can play for the shield power. You can actually like play this card, either this card or the grade 3 common card in the, I don't remember in which BT, I think it's at BT6 or BT7, that kind of like gives the Bastion, or like around like BT4, I think it's around like BT4 or BT3, BT4, I think it's around like BT4 because that's the time when they come out like Bastion Prime, which is a grade 4. So if you do remember this card, there's that card, I don't remember the name, but it's the card that actually like gives the Vanguard 10k power. When your Vanguard is being attacked, it is a 12k power base, and if it's a grade 4, it gets a 20k power as well. So between that card and between this card, it's up to you how you want to deal it. But considering we have a new Bastion coming in, which is a grade 3, I'll spoil you on that. I mean, if everybody's spoiled at this point, so yes, it's a grade 3, Bastion. So if you're gonna have to play the grade 3 Bastion, I think this will be the better option. If you're playing the grade 4, I think that will be the better option. But in this case, I would say that this will be the better option for the shield value and whatnot. So this is good because Bastion as a deck, that is a Morikawa deck, is basically like all of the grade 3s. I think for the more shield you have, the better. So this is technically a very, very good card for Bastion because of the power and the shield as well. So which is kind of nice, and you can combo this with like Suggest as well, which we're gonna get into, because like Suggest can actually like have a 10k shield if your opponent drive checks the trigger. So yes, so that's about it. So that's what it does. Okay, and you have what we have here is the new Bastion. So sort of all Bastion Accord. I think if the Japanese version, the Japanese name is like Banmi no Ken, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah, okay, so continuous Vanguard skill. This card is considered as Apex Ruler Bastion. So Bastion gets a Hexa Orb treatment, Hexa Orb treatment, so you can, Persona right on top of it, and you can Persona right on top of it. So the Hexa Orb treatment, so it's pretty good. Alright, anyways, second skill, Vanguard Continuous. When you bank all of your grade 3 or greater rear guards, front row rear guards, all of your grade 3 or greater front row rear guards cannot be chosen by the abilities of your opponent's card, cannot be chosen by card abilities, and gets 5k power, which is also active on your opponent's stand as well. Okay, so this has a lot of good implications, because all of your front row grade 3 rear guard units gets a 5k power, so 18k buff, so makes it harder for an 18k base, which makes it harder for your opponent to try to swing through your rear guards. So it requires like some sort of like a boost, unless they can power on their own. And cannot be chosen by card effects, which is kind of nice. In like a lot of matches, the Bastion is really rather piece reliant. And if Bastion has this resist, then the high likelihood that Bastion doesn't really need to commit his board is also kind of nice. So yeah, I would say that's also a really good card. And last but not least, this is the very, very nice deal, and I would give props to them for Bushiroad for them to make this deal. At the end of the battle, that leads when you attack, you choose one of your grade 3 or less rear guards. No Bastion Prime on the field, okay? No Bastion Prime, so he's a grade 4. Grade 3 or less rear guards. You stand it, and if your opponent's grade 3 is opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, that unit gets once per turn, the auto rear guard once per turn. When this unit attacks, you counter blast one and discard a Bastion name from your hand, and this unit can perform drive checks until the end of battle until end of turn. So it gets the red text skill, which is kind of nice because at bare minimum, okay, let's talk about how I feel about this card in general, right? So first things first, the bare minimum that you can do your drive checks is 4. If you play, so that's the first part. Second part, I would say, will the capital OD be made redundant? So you can, even if you play the capital OD, if you drive check, then you technically could drive check for free, but I think at the same time you kind of like also save the part where with the counter blast one, and then you can I mean you have to counter blast one to restand the rear guard, but and you also have to get a drive check. So whether or not if the capital OT makes this deck rather redundant is another issue. But I would say if players will not go for the capital OT for the drive checks, of course you can drive check 6 times at nights, right? If you check the capital OT, so in a sense that you can probably switch around and look for alternatives like red OT. Now red OT, granted, you cannot because it says that until the end of the battle, it's not until the end of turn per se, so you can only proc the effect once. So you can technically do 5 attacks. So in Bastion Prime you can technically like do, not Bastion Prime, you can in Bastion and Court you can do like 4 attacks at bare minimum, and if you draft take the red OT, it's gonna be like 5, I would say. Because let's assume that you haven't attacked with your other rearguard. So if you draft check a red OT, you can swing with the other rearguard twice, right? So yeah, you could potentially play the red OT as well. Blue OT, I would say that it's also like another better alternative, I would say. So depends on what your build is, right? And after that, you can what this card actually does, right? If you were to build this deck, I think it would be common sense, right? Okay, right. Common sense, you would play Bastion and Clock with the old Bastion, right? You are not the likelihood of you playing this card with Grade 4 Prime, like Grade 4 Bastion is very low. I don't understand why you want to do that, unless there's that one mad lad out there who decided he wants to do so. By all means, let him do it. So props to that player, whoever wants to build Bastion and Clock with Bastion Prime, by all means go ahead, right? But it can draft check. So the best part about this card is that it can allow you to draft check, right? So honestly speaking, like technically speaking, the best way for you to bring out its full power is you will play this with the Bastion, you play this with the old Bastions for the maximum Persona Red power. 28k on your front row, which is like not 28k, is it like 28? Like Vanguard is 23k and your rear guard is gonna be like 28k at minimum at base, right? So why not, right? So, and you can drive check, and you can just with the cost of like counter blast one just to be stand for it to drive check, 4 drive checks. So it is pretty nice, right? So yeah, if you want to compare it with Bastion Prime, which is only like 3 drive checks. I don't see a reason why you would want to play Bastion Prime with this, Bastion Quad. But giving a rearguard Bastion giving a rearguard drive check, I'm not sure if you really want to play Ratryu in this deck. So Ratryu is, if you do remember, it's like Ratryu is from BT3, I think. You can correct me on this, I might be wrong, because like Ratryu, there's this card from BT03, which is a triple rare. And I think when he attacks, he can just counter blast 2 and rest any number of rear guards, and then he can perform drive checks. And depending on like how many rear guards you rested, I think you have to discard like the amount and X amount of cards. I don't remember, but you can technically play Ratryu with this deck. But of course, counter blast is counter blast 2 and it's counter blast heavy, so it's up to you how will you want to handle your counter blast, and it's also up to you how you want to play your what is your play style with Bastion and Court. So long story short, this is actually a very good card. I'm kind of very happy for it for this card. So it's technically in the same levels of Nirvana, Jiva, and Viamon's Bruce in terms of like giving another additional rearguard attack. So Jiva stands Jiva CB1 stands a crossover dress unit. Viamon's Bruce counter blast 1 stands a column, Diablo's collar. This one stands a grade 3 rearguard, like grade 3 or less rearguard for it to drive check. It's not bad, right? It's not bad. With the exception of Magnolia Mask, of course. Magnolia Mask is just there, but it's a free cost. So, and an attack from back row, so you can do maximum 6 attacks with this one. So with that one, so yeah, and yeah, I think it's really good. It's not really mid, but I mean, I would say if I were to rank this card out of 10, I would say like probably like a 8 out of 10, I would say. So yeah, it's good. It's not as bad. It's not bad. It's a good card. It's not a mid card. As Amana Grigio cough. Okay, anyways, cards that you can combo with the new Bastion. Obviously, you have to play Forbidos to rotate. You can play the Owl, which is the Grade 1 Owl, which is also considered as a Grade 3 in the deck and on the rearguard circle. So you can, as a decent booster, that can also CC as well. I will also remind people that this Owl can CC. You can use Dark Strain, but nobody plays Dark Strain in this day and age with this in this meta. Why? Because you have Rondalia, this card, Rondalia over here, that gives boost to all of the units. So Dark Strain is made obsolete. So Dark Strain can F off, and Rondalia can try to replace it for your boost consistently every turn. Why not, right? Of course it is. And I would like to mention, I would also like to mention that if you are a Bastion player, you better find these two cards as fast as possible before the price skyrocketed. Before the price skyrockets, because this card is not cheap right now. I think it's about like 70 ringgit per. I might be wrong, but it's around that range, 60 to 70 ringgit per, around that range. For Beedle, I bought two, one piece for like around like 30 ringgit. So considering how Bastion Prime's skill is out, you better find this card as fast as possible, because you can find for 2 grade 3 cards and search for grade 4, but you're not gonna search for the grade 4. You have to search for the 2 powerful grade 3s, whichever different card name grade 3s that you're looking for. So better get this card fast. It's like around like 30 ringgit when I bought it. I'm not sure if it's gonna skyrocket, but I have a sense of feeling it might. So yes, of course. And then what you have here, you can combo with Alban, which you can counter blast 2 on place or Vanguard, and you can draw 2 and on attack plus 5k, counter blast 2, solo plus 1, and plus draw 2 and hit attacks plus 5k, so it's kind of nice. So bare minimum is a 23k in a personal rank turn, right? 18 plus 5k, so 33k, I would say, 33k, right? Suggest. Now, Suggest is going to be very, very expensive card. Suggest is going to be probably more than 100 at this point, because Suggest is a very good grade 3 card. It's a very good grade 3 captain card that people plays in Youth Book, plays in Tangria, plays in they play in Bastion as well. So better buy it fast, because this is already 100 ringgit per. I understand, but it's gonna get skyrocketed as soon as possible. So yes, I've seen a lot of like websites. I'm not sure if it's reliable or not. They have been saying that they're selling this for around like 5,000 PN. I'm not sure how true is that. But for those people who is like very expert in like converting Japanese yen to Malaysian ringgit, you try to check how much this card is, because I have a feeling it's gonna be way more expensive than 100 ringgit here in Malaysia. So that's about it. You can play this card for the counter blast also plus 1 for the drive check, for the plus 1 drive, plus 5k and draw 1, and Bastion Prime. But obviously you're not gonna, the likelihood of you playing Bastion Prime in this new Bastion is very low. So no, don't play Bastion Prime in this deck. For me personally, I will pass Bastion Prime. These cards are key cards. All of these are key. Not you, Dark Strain, sit down. Alright, Rondalia, there's for Beedle Surrogate, Alban, Suggest, and this card is debatable, this order card is debatable, but all of the 5 cards there I've pointed out, very staple. Find it as fast as possible for Bastion players. It's gonna be getting really expensive. It's already expensive by the time I make this video. So okay, so this card of the day, Silver Hornbeast, auto drop when your obviously close down. Call disregard to circle plus 5k. Meh. Slaming Dragon, attack hits, one token, for all of the 1 token add to regard as rest. Meh. It's a common card, what do you expect, right? It's good for Grantia, in a sense. So, alright, what can I say? I would say the Bastion Prime is really good. It's not as mid as Jiva. No, it's not as Jiva, not as shit as Jiva, but I guess this is a good card. So for Bastion players, EY, rejoice, you have a grade 3 in your hand. And this card is potentially very good. I'm not sure if it's going to be very expensive, but considering how you can play this in like both the grade 4 and the grade 3 at the same time, why not, right? So just do it. Just do it! Alright, so get your cards as fast as possible, and I would say I'll end this video right here, right now. So, if you do like this video, and if you have any other like questions, comments, point out my mistakes or whatever, or like maybe comment like how much it suggests right now in the market, Do put it down in the comment section below, and stay tuned for the next video. I don't know what video I'm gonna make, but I'm probably it's gonna be a deck profile, I'll say. Well, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys on the next video. So this has been Professor 095 signing out.